Dylann Roof, a self-described white supremacist, has been found guilty of killing 9 black people during a South Carolina church Bible study class. The attack at the historic Methodist church in Charleston happened last year. Roof could now face the death penalty. Well, Colin Campbell's in Washington with more on this. So, Colin, he's been found guilty on all counts. Where does the case go from here?
Well, now it goes into the sentencing phase. This was the guilt phase, and of course, he was found guilty on all 33 counts. Jurors will have to reconvene in January for this sentencing phase, whether or not Dylann Roof should be put to death. And of course, there are some factors that they will have to look at when deciding whether or not he should spend his life in prison or if he should be put to death. These are very complicated parts of the sentencing process, all the factors that they have to look at. One of the top factors are the aggravating factors of the case, and they will have to look at whether or not Dylann Roof did put people in grave danger when he carried out this attack. Many would say that beyond a reasonable doubt he did do this, but it will be contingent upon prosecutors to really convince jurors that this happened beyond a reasonable doubt, that he did carry out this attack with the intent to harm people. To many, it would say that it's very obvious, and he did, but it's still something that has to be proven in court, and that's what will be one of the big factors in whether or not he does get the death penalty or whether or not he spends the rest of his life in prison.
And Colin, for those who haven't been following this case all the way through, just lay out some of the points that led the jurors to come to this conclusion.
Well, this was, of course, the attack that happened at Emmanuel AME Church in South Carolina, where Dylann Roof, who was 21 at the time, walked into a church and he sat down with worshipers there. And during a prayer circle, they were praying together. When their eyes were closed in prayer, that's when he opened fire on them, killing 9 people. Now, Roof said that he thought he had killed only 5 people, and there were some witnesses who say that he looked surprised when it was found, when he was told that he had actually killed 9 people. Now, there were 2 people who survived this attack. He told one woman who was cowering underneath a table, watching this all unfold, that he was going to let her live so she could tell his story. She was also one of the 911 callers describing how the attack unfolded. Of course, he was firing upon people, and she was very close, just feet away from the shell casings from the bullets as they fell on the ground. Now, Roof had written a manifesto talking about his claims as being a white supremacist and talking about his diminutive feelings about African-American people in the country. He also talked about how he was charged by the Trayvon Martin case and how that is what definitely made it and encouraged him to carry out this attack. He also said that he wanted to carry out a race war. He wanted this to be the impetus behind a race war in the United States. Of course, this did not happen, but what jurors looked at in this case was that manifesto, his rantings, and also a confession that he had made. Some of them asked to re-watch this confession as they tried to assemble all of the evidence in the case before making their final decision. So if you look at the manifesto he wrote, the confession he made, and some of his past activities, that's what jurors really looked at to really make a final decision.
Okay, Colin, for now in DC, thank you.